Welcome to Skill Jogger once again. It's the 7th episode of Excel and we are still jogging. So today we're starting with the same dataset we had last time, and also we are continuing with pivot tables. So we will work on the same dataset as before. I will create a table and name it my table because it's mine. And now we're gonna create a pivot table with insert pivot from table range. Let's do it on the new worksheet. I will name it pivot. I will open my file with my notes and let's start. Okay, so at first we are gonna check how we can handle blank data in the data set. So let's say we have some data set with zero sales, not zero but blank sales for Ronnie Potter. We'll see if Ronnie is once Ronnie Proctor. I saw Potter before. Oh, it's Bonnie, not Ronnie. Bonnie Potter. He is once, or she. Okay. So we can get rid of the filter. I'm just playing with the shortcuts on the keyboard. So we have 0 here. We're going to the pivot and let's go with customer name and with sales. So we've got sales here and it's in alphabetical order. What was the name? Okay, it was Bonnie. Where's Bonnie Potter? 13. Okay, let's refresh. Blank. Okay, so we can manage such situations with I guess pivot table settings. For empty cells, show, well, it can be 0 because it's blank, so it's blank. We have 0 here. We can also write some text, so please check. So if we are preparing some report and we are basing on some data set we received, we can create a pivot table and mark each for this example, each customer with 0 sales, and we can mark that. So that's the option. We can show the percentage of column total, but I will show you not on customer name, but maybe something that has less options. Okay, let's go with consumer. Number format, not number format. It will create, or maybe number format changes it on the whole column. Okay, number format, and I will add one more column of the same data, but here I will choose show values as, and for this example it will be percent of column total. So the column total is 1,924,000, and here we can see that if corporate segment has sales of 657,000, it is 34% of the whole group. So that's the option. Of course, you can set the percentages of rows, of parent row total, parent column difference. Yeah, there are some possibilities. I never use the rank smallest, largest. That will probably stay for the future. So now we can create some chart out of this table. So I can go with insert, recommend charts, and yeah, okay, let's let it be a clustered column chart. So we have the chart here, and we can also add a slicer. So maybe to add a slicer, I will add one more column. It goes this way, so customer segment may go here. That looks pretty lean. And now we can also insert a slicer, and as we added already the element of the order date here, we have months and days in the axis of the pivot table. So here I will choose months, and here we have the slicer, so we can pick the elements we are mostly interested in, and we can choose like 2 separate months, so we can compare February with April and so on. So that's the possibility with the slicer. On the other hand, we can also create it's called a pivot chart. So basing on this data, I can insert a pivot chart in a new worksheet, pivot chart, and here we have 2 elements which are built at the same time. I forgot the word when something happens at the same time. It's a nice word. Well, next time. So here is the sales. Let's go with months and maybe state of province. Too much region. Let's go with region. Okay, we have some pivot chart here. So I was building simultaneously the pivot table and a chart that is connected to. Of course, we can add a slicer here. Once again, let's go with months, and here we can pick what we would like to see. But also, I will delete the slicer, and with pivot table analyze, we can insert. Oh, let me see. Okay, so with insert, I have the group of filters, slicer, timeline, and insert. But as well in pivot table analyze, I have also the option to add a slicer or timeline, also the filter section or group, and we're going with order date. And here we have the options. This is the years in Polish, quarters, months, days, and we can stretch it a little, maybe too much. And here we can pick the months. Okay, nothing happened here. Well, maybe something happened before. From January to April. Yeah, we can see the data here. And that's also useful if we have like the data that is I know how I will show the example that I want to say right now. So we can skip to custom calculations in pivot table. Maybe I will use this one. So let's get rid of days, order date, sales. Let's stay with 1, and customer. now I would like to show that because here we have sales. Yeah, maybe let's just show it on the months for now. So we're going to the card pivot table analyze. What was it, the name? It was the card. It was tab. In Polish, it would translate to card, but okay. So it's a tab, and here are the groups. Okay, that's another repetition to remember that. Okay, so we're going to the group. Sorry, to the tab pivot table analyze. And the group is calculations, field items and sets, calculated field. And what can be done here, it's a calculation made of data we have already in the data set, the source. So the example I would like to show is that we have profit and sales. So sales minus profit is the costs. So cost, I think it's like, yeah, but basically if you have the sales minus cost, that is the profit. So yeah, it makes sense, I guess. So we're taking the sales minus profit, and I can go with add. Okay. Okay, so here we have the estimation, not even the estimation, it's just like the summarize. Is it the summarize? Well, this is just a chart with data compared regarding to sales and costs. Okay, maybe we'll also show the profit. And now, as you can see, there are very low differences in March and January. So we can choose, let's say, January and March here. Well, the differences are very small. As we can see here, the profit was 1,000, let's say, zlotych in comparison to 274,000 sales, and cost was just 1,000 less. So that's the profit. So we cannot even see it. If we would add data labels, well, they will show, but just the scale is not good enough to see that. But still, if we have like 2 cases out of a larger number of them, we can filter so that can be more visible and show the case how it looks. So let's move forward. Custom calculations done. Custom calculations, and then I have a calculated field. Okay, so I think it's just I had a note where I can find it, so that's all. Okay, we can change generic name of the columns and the pivot table. So if I have another one, and maybe put it here. Okay, so I have sum of sales costs and profit for each state of province, and I can change it in value field settings. So let's say I want to have it named as sales total. So it changed here, and the same for Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, and so on. So it changes for the whole group of columns. Yeah, so yeah, okay, you can change that. We can filter sales based on some groupings we would like to see, and here I think a good example would be a column called product container. And if I would show it like here, maybe without that, yeah, let's do it like that. So we have here the names of product containers and some sales, but I would like to see the group of the containers that are boxes in comparison to the other packs. So I can pick the one with box here, here, marking it with holding the control button, right click, group. I have it grouped, all boxes. Now I mark all that is that remained, and here also group, and I change this group as boxes and change this as others, and now I can compare two separate groups of packs if I would like to. Yeah, but that's something new I learned, and seems pretty cool. We can also okay, so I think the next one is timeline. So timeline would, or I already showed the timeline. Oh, that's interesting. So I am ahead of my thoughts and my notes. Okay, so now we can go with interval grouping. So we don't want the months, we would need the days to make such grouping. So we have 180 rows of separate dates per one day, but you would like to see periods of, let's say, 2 weeks. So we can go with group. Excel automatically shows the date range for the dates we have in this column. So I pick days and go with number of days, say 14. Okay, and now we have the ranges of the dates here, so I can compare the sales for these periods instead of looking days one by one or months, because it's some not standard. It's I wanted to see the word custom. It's a custom setting that may be useful for some analysis. And the last subject to talk about is running totals, and we can do it for example of someone's sales maybe. Okay, so let's go with sales here. Let's do some formatting so it will be viewed better. I can even zoom it in a little bit. I don't like the font. I'm used to Calibri. So we have the sales here for the custom periods we already set, and we can add the sales once again to another row. We also will change the format so it looks nice. Oh, I have decimals here. I don't like decimals actually, if they don't mean too much. And we can show the value as let's see how it is in English. Running total in days. The days are grouped, so it also works. And here it works like this, that we know that from the 1st to 14th the sales were for 152, is the same here, but from the 15th to 28th the sales were 87,000, and here we have 240. 240 is the sum of these two periods, so it's the running total for the whole period starting from the 1st. So we can we know that here we sold 85, but until the 11th of March, since the 1st of January, we already sold 673,000. And that will be all for today, and probably it may be the end of pivot tables, but we will see in the future, of course. And till then, see you next time.